What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Quantum, and today we're going to be giving a no BS review on One Piece Odyssey. Now, smack like on this video because we're getting to the point right now, and I'm going to simply say this. This game was surprisingly fun. Me being me, I'm big on One Piece, and I'm a massive One Piece fan to the point of, like, I like the action. But being turn-based, I was so afraid that this game was going to suck royally. Now, I'm glad to report that it doesn't. In fact, you can have a ton of fun, and it was really surprising because I'm only 6-7 hours-ish into the game right now, and I've had so much fun that I said, you know what, screw it. That's the most important part about a review, when you can review something before you've even beaten the game because it's fun. And I think that's what this game truly will offer you. It's also very challenging for people who want to use strategy and are maybe accustomed to more strategic approaches to turn-based games. So in one sense, you have this beautiful, wonderfully well-written story that plays out like a One Piece movie. On the other hand, you have a very strategic aspect where you need to think of how you're going to protect your teammates, how you're going to use your resources to the best of their abilities. It's way different from like using Pokemon, where it's just kind of like a bunch of, in some cases, just blind skill mashing, really. There's no talent involved for the most part. This is entirely different. You are not just going to be able to mash your way through all the skills and be able to just win easily. In fact, there are some opponents in the game, like the alligators they'll have you fight, that are incredibly difficult. And I think that's one of those things that like I really wasn't expecting. Now, one little critique that I do have is that I really wish they would have put more actual One Piece characters in the game. And what I mean by that is, instead of having us fight what I personally believe are pointless NPC type characters like, you know, weird little monkeys or alligators or things like that, it'd be a lot more fun if we could fight a lot more dedicated One Piece, you know, things like, for example, Luffy's, you know, whole time there on the Amazon island, maybe fight some of the Amazons there or some cool stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong, you do still have some dedicated One Piece type characters, like you do have Marines still, which is really cool. You still have some of the bad guys from Alabasta, and of course, as the story progresses, I'm sure we'll see more of the dedicated character pieces, but I wish that like when they do the more repetitive battles, you don't really have so much of the same. I wish it was more of like a revolver, if you will. It just keeps going on a wheel kind of thing. You get what I'm trying to say. The point being is that this game is a lot of fun. I had so much fun, like just pulling off a lot of the power-up special attacks, and like I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the bond attacks were gonna be really stupid too, because what's this connecting to the power of our heart stuff? Like, I was not about it, but I am glad to say that that is actually really cool. And the way that the story is represented, it makes sense that they have a connection with each other in that way. I think one thing that benefits from having, you know, the actual creator of One Piece sit in on this project is that it's a coherent story that really does feel like it's just a branch off from the show. Like, it feels like they went to this different island themed in the One Piece world, and that island has its own unique set of abilities, people, and challenges. And all of that culminates into one really fun, I dare say, blockbuster feeling experience. Can it feel stagnant at times? Yes, of course, any game can. Can it be repetitive? Can it feel like fetch quests sometimes? Yes, it totally can. But the overall game itself really does play very well. I actually went 6 consecutive hours playing the game as if nothing happened, as if I was just kind of like there. I looked back up at the clock, you know, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, whoa, I need to go to bed, because that's how fun it was. And I think when you have an experience like that, and you haven't even beaten the game yet, right? I've still got, I'm sure, many hours to go left. I still think that's when you can have the most fun with these kinds of games. So if you are a One Piece fan at all, even mildly, I think this is a great play for you. It will give you a very unique telling of the One Piece story, and that's the like easy way without spoiling anything. Now, again, on the theme of disappointments, I'm a bit disappointed that all it has is a story mode, and it doesn't necessarily have like an arena mode where you can maybe battle some of the bosses or like some of the known characters from One Piece, or like a form selector where you can select, you know, one of the best forms out of the gate from Luffy or some of the other people in the game. You can just do things out the gate. I think that kind of limits it in that way. But again, Similar to most RPG type turn-based games, it's pretty much a grind. It's going to make you go through the system of leveling up until you're where you need to be. And, you know, typically those games aren't really my style, but this one was done in such a great way that I think, honestly, anyone can have fun with it if they watch One Piece. And even if you didn't, they do have little moments where they explain, like, who Ace is or who certain characters are and the relevancy, so that if you're even a little bit lost or maybe you've dabbled in One Piece and didn't watch all the way through up to that point, you can still understand what's going on within the confines of this story. Also very important. So all things considered, I think this is a fantastic game, and I don't need to beat it to tell you that. I've been sitting there, and I'm just having pure fun, and when that's the case, I think you will too. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and as always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. The #1 brand in honesty. Till the next video, I'll see you guys later.